Hello fellow academics and welcome back to Beavtorio. It looks pretty grim when you look at it from this side, but we're surviving and we're still okay. The bad tide that is currently ongoing is about to end, and we have already encapsulated 3 of the water sources, meaning we should get fresh water supply real fast. Open. We'll see how it goes. So, for those of you who haven't seen the previous episode, we have built this pipe here that currently looks completely dried out. And there's a little bit of water in there. Bad water is currently flowing out this way, which is good. It's also flowing out this way. Excellent. And there's another bad water source, which is also flowing out this way. Just making sure this closes below 5%. So does this and this. Oh, this closes below 3%. Interesting. And this closes above contamination of 5%. Let's set this all up to 5% so they're all equal. And then the ones on the inside, 5%, 5%, and I don't know why you're set to 3%, but that is overall okay. All right, here we go. Regular water is coming in. There's a little bit of a struggle as water gets pushed over this direction. But look at that. It is actually all flowing to the top. Here we go. Pops out there. Now, there will be a few remnants, so to speak, of the bad water, but it looks like it's clearing out. And I am actually just going to raise this so we have a water indicator in this corner. It still looks a little bit contaminated, but overall, it'll do just fine. All right, have another look underground. All of this looks pretty blue to me. Perfect. The very bottom part, not so much. I am wondering if this is actually letting bad water in. But I don't think so. Still doesn't look like very clear water at the very bottom of this. For example, this one, not entirely sure. Are you open? You weren't open. Okay, this is where we definitely need to put in a fix. Now, if I open you, and I open you. Oh, this looks not so good anymore. Guess that's okay. Yeah, that is definitely okay. Ooh, you're a bit too tall. There we go. Yes, water indicator good, but not so it overflows. What if we raise it to just 1? All right. Fresh water, and actually clean fresh water, is flowing in here, topping up our water source. So, too high. Currently, 0.95 is the highest we can go. Very strange. Anyways, it'll work for us. So, here we go. And that seems to be doing just all right. Now, there are a couple of things that I've been thinking about that we can probably... we could tackle. Let's put it like that. We don't have to tackle them. So retrospectively, I mean, I've unlocked all of these already, but this would have been actually the perfect time to make use of some of these suspension bridges that I never use. So anyways, it's all built right now, so we're definitely okay. Next thing that I really want to build is the giant large water pump, 400 science. We have enough of that now. So let's put one here, which definitely will supply us with a good amount of water. And in the long run, we need to figure out how to actually let regular water into here rather than the bad water. But we're already in that process where we're building all of this, so the bad water can flow over in this direction. And once that does, all we need to do is open this part here up, and then we're good to go. All right, just to make the process here a little bit faster, let's high prioritize the entire walkway system, which will allow our beavers to build everything around it relatively quickly. We do have enough logs. We are okay, not great with planks, but okay with planks. But I think the biggest challenge that we're having is we have just too many vacancies. So we do have 12 baby beavers, and they are kind of slowly, hopefully, growing properly. Don't quite know if they do, but yeah, still hoping so. So we should actually get a better workforce overall in a little bit of time. Now, also want to make sure we high prioritize our large water pump, because then we can stop the 3 water pumpers down here, and hopefully that will supply us with more workers, ultimately. Can now pause the inventor huts. I guess one of you can actually still do some work. And now all we're lacking are haulers. And we do have 8 construction beavers. Look at, I love when they're like busy. All right, also going to fix all of this by actually reducing the importance by 1. So they're still focusing on building all of that without going overkill right away. All right, here we go. Now they should be focusing on that, and they are. They're doing a really good job. They're already almost there, only 4 more logs. I wonder why they're all so thirsty. Maybe it's time to put them on regular work hours. It's overflowing as we are about to leave the drought. Enter the drought, not leave the drought. Which in all honesty is pretty perfect. Right, large water pump is in, meaning I'm gonna pause the little guys. So they produce 1 water in 1/3 of an hour, meaning 3 water per hour. You're producing 5 water in the same amount of time, meaning you are actually just producing more water. So with that, we should be in a much better spot. Could even reduce you by 1. Means now we're producing 10 water in 1 hour, meaning the equivalent of all those 3 combined. And that was enough water to keep us going. Wow. From complete lack of workforce to only having 2 vacancies. Crazy. Which makes me think, let's unpause another scientist. And maybe we'll just clean all of this up now. But where would we clean it up to? Future works. Anyways, 10-day drought. They are building all of this over here. We should also think a little bit more long-term, as we are gonna be running out of metal soon. So where are we getting our new metal supply from? And the only place I can really think of, we have some bad water sources down here that would only get us to this part. Oh, maybe we need to actually go over this direction and finally block this off, as well as block off the top here, so this can dry out and we can utilize that mine to get to our metal supply. That's exactly what we're going to do for now. So first we're making our way up to the top. Removing you. I'm gonna build a staircase over this direction, leaving a little gap here. I think that would be a great spot, maybe for an observatory, but we'll see. And because we want to high prioritize this, or get this done quickly, we're gonna high prioritize it and then make our way over into this corner. Now that will be very simple. Just a bunch of levees. There we go. Make sure we're high prioritizing those as well. So they can build all of that. And then this area does not drop anything into this part right here. Now, in order to get over this direction, this will be a little bit more tricky. But I think the easiest way would be to continue building this over here. And this is actually where the bridges come in quite nicely, if we shall unlock them. We'll actually will do that. Okay, so we're waiting for a little bit more science, and then we're gonna unlock the level 4 bridges, because the next one would be 1,000. Yeah. So this will allow us to span a gap of, well, 4. Which means if this is over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be spanned. And that means this way, we should be able to get to this part right there once we have enough science. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to build another one over here, and so on and so on. This is what I think I should have done initially instead of unlocking the overhangs, because they are cheaper. When you look at it, I mean, it is 16 log and 16 planks, but without the overhangs and without the impermeable floors, we could have just had all the bad water come up here and get out this way, basically. Which also would have meant we wouldn't have needed any sluices. So 0 metal production in there. Excuse me. And then we could have just focused on 2 woodcutter camps right there, free of our plank manufacturers, and that would have been it. We would have been fine. So maybe in the future, or well, if I ever play this map again, that is what I would be doing instead of what we've done over here. It would also get completely rid of the need to deal with like opening sluices, closing sluices, and so on and so on. And all of that could have completely worked out up here. But oh well, live and learn, right? So, I mean, alternatively, instead of building the bridges over there, what we could do is actually also, instead of building all of this up here, we could just put a little ditch in there that can be utilized to have the water flow out this direction. For that, we would need to unlock explosives. Now, explosives, they do cost quite a bit of science, but it's 400 for the factory, and then we need a bad water pump, which is in here, which is 250, which might actually be the smarter move. I wonder where we would best place a bad water pump. I guess technically up here. This will always be bad water up this direction. Building lacks power, and of course they do, because we're in the middle of a drought. We only have one of these guys, so not too great. And I think one thing that we wanted to look at is actually unlocking a windmill. Now the small ones we could build relatively easily. We do have the paper mill though, so we can also unlock the large one and try to find a spot to place it. Over here would actually be pretty straightforward, which would help us supply our beavers with power in the middle of drought. I guess I'm gonna pause the smelter for now. Yeah, we do have 10 metal blocks in here already. There we need more planks than anything. Wood workshop can be paused, because we don't actually need any treated planks anymore. We do have 10, so we could even build another one of these. Not that we really need to. Need to keep an eye on this. 120 water. Productivity is 90% though. Nah, should still be okay. They're about to finish this part up here, which is pretty awesome. And over here, I guess we don't need to put the ditch in there. Although it would make sense since we are building this part over on this side. All right. So bottom line, as I said, we need a bad water pump, and we're going to place it up here on this side, which will make sense much later in the game. But for now, we're also just going to go ahead, make a little pathway over this direction. I prioritize you to be chopped down. And then we want to chop you down as well. High priority. And then we made it all the way over this direction. Now, there are a couple of things that we can do over here. And it might be useful to have our new bad water source be completely filled to the top. Which means it would probably be nice, especially since our bad water pumpers. Let's actually have another look. They only go too deep, right? Unless I put one of you up here. No, you can only pump water. So our bad water pump, yeah, only reaches too deep. So right now, it wouldn't actually be able to pump anything, which is not that great. So what we are going to do to allow a little bit more storage, so to speak, up here, I'm going to put a levee. Actually, no, we're just going to levee these two up and then put 2 dam pieces over there. You know what? Let's put 3 dam pieces in there just to make sure it doesn't tip over. Although I'm pretty sure 2 will just be fine. Actually, if I'm sure, I should leave it at 2. Here we go. Right, they're basically done with this side. So now please go ahead and wrap up this one. The drought is about to be over, which means we can now unlock the bad water pump, placing it up here. Could also high prioritize this, and I will. So we need 5 metal blocks, which we have. I think we only have 4. Oh, they're already putting it in the rest of the stuff. But the drought is about to end, so let's pause you. Unpause the smelter and the gear workshop for now. And I think we might just need more planks. So let's destroy a science hut and place our lumber mill factory down here, which gets us almost to that point where we have all the plank manufacturing down at the bottom on this end. All right, nothing for you guys to do. I guess I could still send a single beaver in. Water supply was okay during the drought with this one large pumping station. I'm very excited about that. Look, the fresh water is coming in already. Very exciting, very, very exciting. So let's look down here. Actually, what we can do, and what I just realized I did. You're closing, depending on stuff. You're opening, depending on stuff. But I have you now completely open, which is good. And I have you open. So that's sped the process up quite a bit. And I think... No, you guys have not finished that over here. These 2 are missing, but the inner ones I can always leave open, which will be very nice because the bad water gets then pushed out. On this side, let me go back down. On this side, and once the bad water is all pushed out, this will open and it will all flow into this direction. So all in all, that sounds pretty good to me. Oh, look at that. We're actually producing bad water already. We're not making power yet over here. It will come. But still need to connect this up. So you guys can actually just match all of this up. Let me also make this a high priority. And then you guys could already build this. Yeah, I'll let you build this first. In the long run, not so far in the future. Because I said that, we're gonna build it right away. We will put in another water wheel up here. That will supply power up in this direction, which will definitely help us, as we will be expanding our productivity area up here. Now let's have a look into our storage solution. It would be kind of nice to unlock a larger water storage, but don't really need to at the moment. But what I should do, so I don't forget, actually, if I don't blow this up. Would this be a bit faster? I would not need to build this if I blow up a little channel at the bottom. I would also not need to build these. You would need to be built. Kind of like the idea of it being a little bit more level here. Alright, anyways. We will see. We will see. Bottom line is, once we have the channel over in this direction, we don't need to build bridges over this way. Which means I don't need to build that. And we can literally just walk over here and block this off. Which again, I think will definitely benefit us in the long run. So right now we don't have any use for the bad water. Don't worry, it will happen. It will make sense at some point. And then we're just gonna ultimately wait until this is drained. Although we might just speed that process up as well. Because we could just drain through here. Oh, look at that. Almost clean water. Let's see what our scrap metal supply looks like. Small, but still persistent. And we might actually be able to get to that point where our scrap metaler will be able to walk down here because we figured out the water supply or cleaned out that area right here. All right. Anyways. Still making good progress over this direction, which I very much appreciate. That has also been built up pretty well. Very nice over here. Right. I don't think we had high prioritized these, so let's go ahead and do that. And then we need to just keep an eye on this. Once they finish building this part. Come on, beavers. Why is nobody building this? Oh, there he comes. All right, this is built now. Starting to tip over. But it looks like the water level is stable. It's actually going down, I guess because we're getting close to the drought. Yeah, I think so. All right. So things are happening. That's always good. Let's go ahead and fix that little path here. And I think maybe we'll add another water wheel in the back here as well. Let's see. I know we can already plan for it. Oh, that's actually a lot of material. Too much material. Maybe too much material. If we didn't need these, that would already be enough. So that's what we're gonna do. Right, I know they just built this, but you know, as their overlord, I have the voice where I'm allowed to change my mind. But we're still gonna put these in front. Only need level 1. 1 here. And then level 2 here. And then we can put down our dam pieces right there. Yeah, not that. There we go. Just like there. Don't even need to put anything over this way, but what we're gonna plan in already is another area over here so we can put the path in front and actually cross over once they have built all of this. This way we have 2 of these water wheels up here that will supply continuous power, and we can augment them over this direction with windmills, which will ultimately supply this area down here with with power. And that will become our industry area. In the long run, we might connect these 2 up, but we'll see. All right, let's actually have them wrap this part up right here, making sure. There we go. So 1 area in front of it as well. Once they have finished all of this, we have another water source connected, which again will help us with topping this up or replacing this part with clean water, which will be essential for our scrap metaler to get to the scrap metal down here before we ultimately will be able to drain this. You guys get the gist of it. Right, doing okay overall, I think. So most importantly, we've built that large water pump, and it's now completely supplying our colony with water. Very excited about that. Right, I'm gonna end the episode here. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.